The encounters I had as a volunteer with the ladies of the Gift of Grace House are still teaching me. Mother Teresa's theology corrected my perspective for my relationship with God. The missionary of charity mission is that they are here to quench the thirst of Jesus for people, for love, for kindness, for compassion, for delicate love. Mother requires every MC chapel to have a very large crucifix on the facing wall with the words, "I thirst," painted in large black letters next to the cross. She had developed a theology based on the last words of Jesus. Mother summarized the meaning in a letter to her community where she said, "I thirst" is something much deeper than just Jesus saying, "I love you." Until you know deep inside that Jesus thirsts for you, you can't begin to know who he wants to be for you. God thirsts for us, pants with ultimate desire of love for us. We may be wrapped up in our own egoic interests and battles, but this truth surpasses everything. Until we grasp its significance, we are still trusting in our culture's transactional way of dealing with people. I found one of Mother's ladies going through this exact struggle on Easter Vigil, the day before Easter. I'll call her Priscilla. She had just come back from Atlanta's Mercy Hospital called Grady. She was very tall. AIDS had wasted her away to extreme thinness. While at Grady, someone had snuck in and given her a high dose of her favorite drug. She was coming down off of it, and paranoia was setting in. The nuns couldn't give her what would ease her withdrawal. She was in cold turkey mode. In the afternoon before I came, a group of volunteers from a nearby parish had brought Easter baskets filled with candies and goodies to give to each of the ladies. Her basket was tucked in her bed with cookies and crumbs and candies all through the sheets. She was trying to hide the treats, possibly something she'd learned to do to survive on the streets. As I approached Priscilla, she was muttering to herself over and over, "I'm only 85 pounds. What has happened to me? I'm only 85 pounds. Her dilated, dancing eyes scurried back and forth, unable to focus on me or anyone else. I felt inadequate, that my feeble attempts would not reach her. Somehow, words came to me as I tried to comfort her. I remembered the feast we would be celebrating tomorrow, so I took her hands and looked into her eyes, saying, "Jesus came to give us peace, a peace that is beyond our understanding. Jesus wants that for you." "Yes," she said, "that's what I want." "That's my prayer for you," I answered. "I want you to have this peace." She smiled. She still struggled with jerky, unconscious movements and swirling hallucinations, but a little softer now. Somehow, in the midst of her terror and panic, she had connected with love. During the rest of the evening, I would come and check on her. She bravely kept holding on through the hard hits of drug withdrawal. Then she fell into a deep sleep. Priscilla had come to see Jesus' thirsting love for her. She accepted wholeheartedly. She was at complete peace. When I woke up the next morning, I went to her room and she was not there. Earlier, the nuns had found her in the final stages of breathing, indicating death was imminent. They moved her to a private room where she was resting more peacefully. She passed away that morning, right in the middle of Easter Mass that was celebrated downstairs. Priscilla lived the real Easter story. She had lived a chaotic life, searching for peace. She did not find it in the drugs, but she found it realizing her thirst for happiness was met by God's thirsting love for her. I'm deeply thankful and honored for the tiny amount of time we spent together. Priscilla continues to show me the way to peace with God is smooth. Priscilla found her way through a seemingly impossible murky darkness to God's light of love and peace. She heard it through the noise. When I am surrounded with wrong messages, I hold on, and God sends an invisible, unbreakable thread to me as a lifeline. We can all do this. Just Priscilla's yes bonded her immediate connection to the light. Mother tells her nuns, brothers, and priests that God longs for our love, our attention, our ardent devotion, the total entrusting of our lives to God. God's I thirst message is so personal to each of us. She encourages them to put their own name before the words I thirst. And here, Jesus saying to us, for example, Maggie, I thirst. We can do the same. We can put ourselves in the silent presence of God in a quiet place and prayerfully imagine Jesus gently calling our name and speaking his parting words from the cross personally to each of us. I thirst.